One station making history every day.
Chicago, Chicago.
Now, Jake Hartford.
89 WLS.
Ward, you were very rough on the Beaver last night. Morning, everybody. It's 5:08, 8 past 5, 52 minutes before the hour of 6 o'clock. I had to think about it. This is the Awake with Jake show, up and running. Be with you until 8 o'clock when Paul Bryan gets here with Drive Chicago. And could I toot my own horn? I don't even have a horn, but if I had one, I'd be tooting it right now. It'd be toot, toot, toot. Those of you who follow me on Facebook, the other day, Tuesday, during the day, after I had talked with some people on the ground in Wisconsin, I posted that the results would be Walker winning by 7 points, 7 percentage points. And up until that time, you know, a lot of the media and the polls were calling it too close to call. It was maybe 2 points, 3 points, whatever. And I posted 7 points. And people scoffed. They said, "What do you know, Jake Hartford? What do you know about Wisconsin? What do you know about politics?" Let me just say the winning margin was 7 points. Right on the head. 1,331,000 votes for Walker, 1,158,000 for Tom Barrett, the mayor of Milwaukee. 7 percentage points. And I'm glad that at least Barrett got over 1 million votes, because I was concerned that the 900-some thousand people who signed the petition for the recall, they wouldn't get that many votes. So hopefully all those people came out and voted. But right on the head, 7%. You'll hear things on this show first before other shows. Just remember that. Anyway, 591-8900 is the phone number. A lot of stuff to get to. But we'll start with Paul from Arlington Heights. Good morning, Paul. Paul?
Morning, Jake.
How are you?
Doing fine. You know, you mentioned about Governor Walker winning. You know, I think you had a hand on him winning by that 7-point margin.
I just said that.
Yeah. Well, this is why I think. If you recall from last year's Labor Day, remember that the people organizing the parade for Labor Day in Wausau, Wisconsin, were not going to let Republicans join in the parade, correct?
Oh, that's right. I remember that. I was filling in for Rowan Roper that day. Yeah.
And remember, you talked to the mayor of Wausau, and you threatened to go up there and protest if Republicans were not allowed to march in the Labor Day parade.
That's right.
All right. Well, here's what I think is going on, Jake. Since you did that, your fan base in central and northern Wisconsin has gotten larger and larger and larger, and people are listening to you on the radio. They're listening to you on their computers, their iPhones, their Blackberries, their Droids. They're listening to your show in the morning.
And some would say that fan base in Wisconsin is larger than the one in Chicago.
There you go. And I think because you talking on Memorial Day when you substituted for Rowan Roper, and they heard you talking with the lieutenant governor, the people that were on the fence, your independents, they heard you talking with her. I think that switched their votes over to Scott Walker and his lieutenant governor, and because of that, they got that 7-point margin over Barrett.
I'd be too modest to say that, but I'll let you say that, yes.
Well, I am saying it, and I think that might be the truth, Jake. Now, let's have a good news story for a change. You know, you're saying lately, I've been starting to show with depressing news. Well, I've got some good news for a change. One of your biggest fans that listens to you is PJ from Crown Point, Indiana. Well, I just thought I'd let you and the listeners know that on Thursday, PJ became a grandmother for the 4th time. And believe me, if you've ever seen PJ, I've seen her in person, it's hard to believe she'd be a grandma for the first time, let alone for the 4th time.
Congratulations.
Yes, her daughter Megan and her son-in-law Linnell had a daughter Megan.
It's always nice to get new listeners.
Right. Mariah was born, big baby. Baby girl was 8 pounds, 15 ounces, and 22 inches long. So that's. I wish I could catch a walleye that was 22 inches long.
Did the baby come by FedEx ground or?
Yeah, I mean that's a big baby. All right. So now for some depressing news.
See, there you go. See, I knew he was going to get to it.
You knew what was coming. All right, I hate to announce a friend of the show. I hate to let your listeners know about this, but we would hear him on your show. Richard T. Crow, Chicago's very own ghost hunter, unfortunately passed this last Wednesday. He died of complications of pancreatic cancer. What's strange is the poor man found out 11 days before he died that he had pancreatic cancer, and he went that quickly. And then also what's strange, well, not strange, but, you know, we always would talk about Resurrection Mary and Resurrection Cemetery. Well, that's where Richard's going to be buried. So
yeah, he, you know, it's really strange. I just got a letter from him.
Really?
And I didn't open it.
Oh, man.
Because I went out of town Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to open it when I got home, and then I saw on the Facebook that, you know, yesterday that he passed on, and I'm afraid to open it now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But 11 days, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously he didn't suffer too long, but still, and a young man, only 64 years old, you know, it's kind of disturbing when you're near that age yourself and hearing that he passed. Boy,
pancreatic cancer, I mean, my father died from that, had that, and yeah, there's a lot of people, you know, that's a killer disease.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. Yeah,
11 days, man. I don't know how. You know what? I don't know if that's the way to go or not to go.
Yeah.
I mean, would you like to have it and then suffer for a year or two, or would you just have a good life and then go?
Yeah. You don't want to suffer, so I guess it's.
I wonder what will happen to his ghost tours.
Well, someone commented on that social media page. Well, maybe he'll give the ghost tours of the living. You never know.
Oh, anyway. All right. Thank you, Paul.
All right, Jake. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Richard Crow's been on many times. And you talk about a guy, and you know, maybe, I don't know what's the right way to go, how fast, not fast, whatever. But here is a guy who lucked into what he did. He was a professor, I think, at DePaul University. I think he was connected. I forget, and he kind of followed the paranormal stuff in Chicago. And somebody asked me, say, why don't you put like a little group together and you know give a little tour of some of the places around Chicago, like Resurrection Mary, stuff like that. And he did, and it was very popular. And he started doing more tours, and that became his job, his profession. He started out in the 70s doing that. And Resurrection Cemetery is on Archer, where he's going to be buried. That's where the Resurrection Mary story came from, where people would be driving down Archer at night, and this ghost type figure, this girl would ask for a ride, and they give her a ride, and she get out of the car by the cemetery and go into the cemetery, and people would swear it was a real person. It was a ghost. Yeah. He had tours. He used to take people to Chinatown. They had the boat tour, different places where the big fires. There was a fire right back of the station here. Was it the theater or whatever? It was right down the alley. I know he's been on with Rowan Roper talking about that. Yeah, so he'll be missed. Anyway, well, more to get to. Speaking, I went out of town. The gas prices. When I left Chicago, in our area near Green Jakers, gas was around like $3.72 a gallon. As I went south, I went down to Nashville. In Effingham, Illinois, not too far, gas was $3.45. And as you made your way into Kentucky, past Paducah, and you always want to go past Paducah, gas in Kentucky was like in the 330s. Nashville, you know how much gas is in Nashville? $3.13. And not just one station, all over the place. $3.13, and they're complaining about gas prices down there. And I'm thinking, why? What's the big difference? And I got back yesterday, or late Thursday night, and I saw the gas price yesterday here, $3.95, back up. And I know Chicago is higher because we have that special blend. We're a special people in Chicago. We get the summer blend. You know what? I can live with the Nashville blend at $3.13. And I know there's a little difference in taxes and stuff like that. But that's between $3.13 and when it's $3.95 now, 80-some cents a gallon. I went to the Walmart. I wanted to buy a bunch of the 5-gallon red gas cans. I just wanted to load up with gas and bring it back. But I already had loaded up with cigarettes at $2.50 a pack. Nah, I'm just joking. If I could work out the price of gas, you could just bring gas and cigarettes back. Just back and forth. Just whatever. Anyway, see, if the president wanted to become popular, lift, and I said this months ago when the gas skyrocketed, get rid of the blends right now. We don't need special blends. One blend for regular. That's all. Think of the people he'd make happy. Think how it would help the economy. People would have more money in their pockets to spend on stuff. Huh? I should be advising him. 519, back to your calls after this on 89 WLS.